Mike Moore Media, the first place to hear Rockingham County news and information.
I'm talking to Fred Thompson, City of Reidsville Parks and Recreation Superintendent. We'll get an update from Fred and also a visit here in a little bit with Haywood Cloud Jr., Assistant City Manager of Community Services. Hey, Fred, how you doing?
Okay, how about you, Mike?
I'm doing great. Well, bring us up to date. Recreationally speaking, what's going on around the city?
Okay, so we obviously know that there's some limitations on what we can participate in due to the COVID, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But one thing I want to mention, which is happening in the next couple of days, you know, at the lake with our trail system, we want to connect to the mountain to sea trails, and DARBA, the Dan River Basin Association, is offering a free online form. And if you go to the Reidsville Parks and Recreation website, you can get the link to log in and go ahead and support that. And obviously that's going to bring some really great things to the community. Besides connecting to that over 1,000 miles of trails, it will bring the city probably the only modernized campground on the whole loop. So what's that going to bring to us? Great opportunity, great outdoor recreation, and it'll help us with our business expansion and bringing new restaurants. So, again, go to the Parks and Recreation, Reidsville Parks and Recreation website, go to the link, click it, sign in to one of the forums, and then you can go ahead and put some input in that. So, great things in the future.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
what I want to talk about, yep, no doubt. So, what I want to talk about now is about what opportunities are open in Parks and Recreation. We, as the city, are following the recommendations of the governor. Right now, he has extended phase 2 until around the first or second week into September. So most of our outdoor opportunities are still open. And right now, our Lake Reidsville recreation facilities are booming. Every weekend we have a lot of participation. Our camping facilities are open. They will allow you to fish out there. Disc golf, which is absolutely free. All you got to do is you can go and buy your own disc, or if you have one, you can come and use it. Just check in at the stores. I want to mention shelter rentals. Shelter rentals are available at the lake, and we limit right now 25 people at one time. So if you know you're going to have more, we found a way to work around that. So you rent two shelters side by side, and there are some shelters like that are close to each other. You rent both, and then you can have 25 at each one. We also recommend that you also, the 3 W's, you want to follow that, and it's wear the mask, wait, you want to stay 6 foot apart, and then you want to wash your hands. So we want everybody to follow that, and you should wear a mask if you're not eating out there. I would say that it's not difficult to do that. I know you can't do it while eating, but you should do that. And also, we recommend that you bring wipes and stuff like that and wipe the tables down when you're done and other things. Now, we also have horseshoes, mountain biking and hiking trails, and open play on the field. So we have a soccer field. You can go out there and do open play, but we will not allow you to go and play football or any close contact sport like that. Our basketball courts are closed out there because of the close contact involved with that and the concern with COVID. And also our playground. So you do not want to go and utilize the playground at this time because we cannot satisfactorily disinfect in between use. The one thing we have out there, and it's going to be a great amenity when we finally open it, we have a playground zip line out there. And half of that was funded by the Rockingham County Community Foundation, and we found the other half of the funding last year, or the year before actually, through our budget. So that'll be a great asset when it's open. And I want to see people. To be honest, I want to use it myself, even though it's really for anybody 12 and under. So
as superintendent, you need to check it out personally, though, and make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Right.
I mean, I did some zip lining from tree to tree, and that's cool also.
Yeah.
So our mountain biking and hiking, we're expanding our trails at the lake. Our trails are designated for mountain biking, but of course they're also used for hiking too. They just put in another couple-mile extension that goes out to, if you're facing the lake, from the lake store, it goes to the left. And again, that's going to be where the connection is eventually from the mountain to sea trail. And granted, it's going to be several years down the road, but that's going to be a great thing for economic, to boost the economy. So I look forward to that. And again, there's some things I'm going to mention, but in the future, I plan on coming back and see what has happened with all those trails, because I'm an outdoor person myself. I love to camp. I love to hike. I love to do all that stuff. So that's pretty much at Lake Reidsville. Now, listen, if you want to go and you want to camp at Lake Reidsville, you need to call. Don't expect to call the Friday before and expect to find a campsite open. It is not like that right now. RV rentals and sales are busting out the seams. People are trying it, and they're doing new things. They're buying them. They're showing up. So please try to give us a couple weeks to see if we can fit you in there with that. So some other facilities that are still open. We have our shelters in the regular parks, and again, they're going to follow the same accommodations as at the lake that I mentioned to you. Out at JC Park, we have tennis and pickleball courts that are open, and you can right now. This first come first serve, and the pickleball courts. Boy, it's almost like lines there every day. People utilize it in the morning and the night, but that's a big sport among seniors, and also now among middle-aged adults and younger. Also, we have something, too, we put in a couple years ago, a dog park out there. And again, you can bring your dog in there. It's leash-free park. We also have a small park next to it, which was built by a Boy Scout as an Eagle Scout project, so you can utilize that. We also have the baseball and softball fields out there, and again, they're pretty much booked for games a lot of times, but in the afternoons and all, you can utilize that for throwing the ball or just hitting or practicing with that. We do not have any recreational sports going on right now. We're waiting to see meaning not organized. We're waiting to see what the governor decides here in a couple weeks, and if he moves on to phase 3, we're going to consider moving into some fall sports leagues with that. Like I said, the recreation center, the teen center, and our care are closed, which includes the fitness room, the gym, and all other facilities. And again, we're waiting to see what the governor decides, whether we're going to open up that. And of course, we're going to have various restrictions when we do. You're going to have to wash your hands. You're going to have to wear a mask when coming into facilities, except during the workout in the fitness rooms. But we'll work on that and talk about that later if that does come about. Plans in the future is the outside activities. There's only a few things that would open up. And I've already mentioned that the inside activities, that'll be determinant of what our restrictions are. But one thing I do want to mention, the open gym in the recreation area is going to be a little hard to supervise, and we'll have to put some extreme restrictions on that if we do decide to open up with that. I know people want to do more things. I understand that, but we need to be safe, and that's the number one concern. We want everybody to be safe, and then after that you can recreate. So please consider the other individuals, wear your mask when appropriate, proper distancing, wash your hands, and if you are sick, please stay home, get over it first, and then come back and participate, because we don't want to see anybody else sick.
Yeah, some really good information there. I understand you have an announcement to share with us, Fred.
Yes, I do, and I'm really sad on saying this, but I plan on retiring here in a couple, I should say in October actually, and I really don't want to do it at this time, but I have some family obligations that I have to meet with my parents, and I need to focus on that, and I hate to, like I said, really leave. I mean, I feel I've done a really good job here, and I really fit right into Team Reidsville, everybody, and I appreciate everybody that I've worked with here. I've met some great people in this county, because as you know, I've worked at Madison Maiden first, and now on this side of the county, Reidsville, and I've got some great network and contacts here, and I plan on staying in contact with them. I also am on several boards here in the county, and of course my current commitment is I'm also the president of the Reidsville Rotary Club, and I plan on continuing that through its term and continuing staying in the club after that. In fact, we're working on a project here, and as soon as we get straightened out here a little bit more and we can do some more opening up, meeting with some more city officials, because the Rotary would like to do some signature projects, and I won't mention what it is, along with the city, something that stands out, and it's going to be there forever, so they can recognize, hey, look, Rotary did that, and along with the city. So I'm not going to mention what those items are right now because there's not a firm commitment on it, but there's going to be some great things there. Like I said, I have some great people I work with, and great, including you, Mike, and Haywood, and all the staff here, and I would feel really sad inside about leaving, but I got to do what I got to do to support my family and do what I need to do, and I plan on coming back and volunteering and helping.
Yeah. Well, you've accomplished so much. It seems like you've been there longer than 4 years because you've accomplished so many things in that time. Maybe this is a good point to bring in. We've got about 3 or 4 minutes left. Bring in Haywood to just get your comments here at the end. Haywood, please.
Well, Mike, we are saddened here at the city that Fred has reached an age and a point in his life where he has to do other things, that he has to retire because he's done such a good job here at the city. I've only worked with him 2 years, 2 of those 4 years, but he's constantly coming up with good ideas, constantly being just a true team player, and we're going to miss his leadership and everything that he has done. And so we can't, I think I speak for Preston Mitchell, the city manager, the council, and everyone to say thank you to Fred and thank him for all of his hard work, and we're going to miss him.
Well, that's for sure. And part of Team Reidsville, and Fred, thank you for your dedication and your commitment and your hard work in making so many good things happen. I'm looking over the list of some of your accomplishments. If you had to choose, gosh, there have been dozens, but if you had to choose one, Fred, what are you most proud of that you've done in your 4 years with Parks and Rec?
I probably, and it's really not one thing, because when I came on to Parks and Rec, I saw there needed to be some improvements on the facilities. And I've worked on that for the last 4 years with the money available, and the council and administration, Preston and everybody, has been very supportive on that, because let's face it, the stuff deteriorates and decays, and it needs to be updated. So that's the first thing I did when I came on, is I went and put the plans together for the future, and they have been very supportive and done a lot of it. So it's not really one thing, but I would say the relationship I developed with the community has been really great and fantastic, and the community members. Everybody here is extremely friendly that I met, and I appreciate that. I appreciate what everybody's done. So I just want to say thank you to everybody again, and I'm going to miss people, but I will be back to visit, of course.
Well, and we appreciate your good work with the Reidsville Rotary too. That's great. So I'm kind of excited now. You've teased us with that, so we'll get more information on that later. Maybe you and I can do a program with the Rotary and see what your plans are there.
Yeah, we could do that. Right now, we're trying to get things a little bit more back together. We're trying to transition from the Zoom to the live or a hybrid version. Once we do that, we'll be able to do a few more meetings and work with the city and doing some type of project. But right now, we're still trying to transition with that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Fred, it's good to talk to you. All the best in the future, and Haywood, good to have you on the program too. And all the best to you and Team Reidsville. Good things happening.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Thank
you too.
You.
Bye. Fred Thompson, as you just heard, retiring in a couple of months as Superintendent of Reidsville Parks and Recreation. Good to talk to Fred. We go back many, many years with his days in the Madison-Marietta area with Parks and Recreation, and Haywood Cloud Jr., Assistant City Manager of Community Services. Yes, challenging times for everyone in municipal government, but still some very positive things happening, making Reidsville a good place to live, work, and play. And you can get more recreational information right there on their website at reidsvillenc.gov.